Right, good to see everybody. Let's come to a nice, comfortable seat. You can scoot forward in your chair a little bit so that you can press down into those sit bones. Peek down at your feet. Make sure that your knees are landing over your ankles. So feet are about hips distance apart. And then really start to root down into your feet, root down into your sit bones. Start to lengthen through the sides of the waist. Let's give the shoulders a little roll out. They might be a little extra crunchy since it's been a couple weeks since we've met, though not necessarily that long since you've done some yoga. When I was in Santa Monica, you can start to roll forward. I there was like this massage place that one of my friends told me about, and these cute little Chinese ladies who were very, very strong. But I think that the poor woman must have been like, why is this girl so tight? I was sore for a couple of days. All right, so go ahead and let the shoulder blades kind of press back down. They're gently squeezing in towards each other. You can take your hands on your thighs. Chin is parallel to the floor, maybe even just tucking it slightly. Allow your eyelids to close. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. And open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Ha. Inhale, fill up. Little pause. Sigh the breath out, let it go. Ha. And then just do that a couple more times on your own. No rush. And when you've done that 2 or 3 times, you can allow your lips to seal. You start to inhale through your nose and then also exhale through your nose. Following that sound of your breath with your attention. So using the breath, it's your focal point. So it kind of helps to focus the mind. Of course, sometimes that can take several rounds of breath before you drop into that space. That's absolutely fine. As you're sitting here following that rhythm of your breath, that inhale through your nose, that exhale through your nose, maybe observe if any tension has crept into your body. So I'm feeling a little in my neck and shoulders. And see if you can soften in those spots. So yes, there's effort sitting here, but we don't want to do more than we need to. So we're kind of striking that balance. Just another moment or two here, really enjoying the stillness, the sound of your breath. Good. From here, you can start to blink your eyes open. Let's release the arms down by our side. So you're still rooting into your sit bones. You're feeling that openness, that stretch across your heart and chest. And kind of exaggerate it. It's like you're really trying to spin your thumbs to face behind you. Good. And then as you exhale, find that internal rotation. So it's almost a little awkward. Good. Inhale, externally rotating. Good. Exhale, spinning the arms in. Couple more like that. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, finding that internal rotation. Inhaling, externally rotating at that shoulder head. Exhale, round in. And then just kind of find that externally rotated part. You don't have to exaggerate quite as much, but then let's inhale, take the arms out and up. Give yourself a little resistance as you're reaching up, and then take the arms out, press the palms down like you're moving through molasses. And then this time, let's reach forward, inhale. Same thing, kind of giving yourself a little resistance as you reach up. And then exhaling, reaching forward. Palms gently spin open, inhale out and up. You'll find that internal rotation as you press down. Beautiful. A couple more of these, inhaling forward and up. Warming up the shoulder girdle here. Exhale forward and down, firming muscle to bone, giving yourself some resistance, a little external rotation out and up as you inhale. And then find that internal rotation, press down. Let's bring the hands to the thighs here, and then just allow your chin to drop towards your chest. Shoulder blades are releasing down your back. They're gently squeezing in. Breath is smooth and steady. Trying to find length in the back of your neck. And you might not be tucking your chin very far, especially if the back of your neck is feeling tight today. Keep rooting into your sit bones, lengthening through the sides of your waist. Keeping that breath smooth and steady. As you inhale, bring your chin parallel to the floor. Exhale. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. You start to feel a stretch in that left side of your neck. You're breathing here. And again, the neck holds a lot of tension. It gets really tight. So you can always back out a little bit if you need to. Things will start to warm up as we're here a little longer. But if it feels like too much, back off. All right, inhale up to center. And then exhale, drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. You start to feel the stretch in that right side of your neck. Shoulders releasing down. You can just imagine that somebody is gently pressing down on your shoulders, giving you a little weight. Good. Inhale up to center. Exhale, drop your chin towards your chest again. Is it feeling a little different yet? It might not be. You might be finding a little more space. Sending your exhale to the spots that are a little extra tight. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Make sure both shoulders are releasing down, and then stay here, ear to the right, but also tuck your chin. And that's going to change where you get the sensation in the back of that left shoulder, your neck on that left side. As things get a little more intense, maybe you've started to hold your breath without realizing that you're doing so. If that's you, just keep it moving. Good inhale, untuck your chin. Good exhale, come to center, take a deep inhale here. And then exhale, drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. You start to feel the stretch in the right side of your neck. And then from here, start to tuck your chin. And it just sort of changes where you're feeling sensation. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, head comes back up to center. Take a deep inhale here, lengthen. And then exhale, chin drops towards chest. This time, if you wanted to release your fingertips down towards the floor, you could imagine that you've got like little weights in your hands, kind of using gravity to intensify things a little bit. You can always try this. You might decide like, it feels like too much. It's too much extra. So if that's you, you can just go back to the place that we were prior. Good. If your fingertips are extending towards the floor, place them back on your thighs. Inhale, chin lifts. Exhale, right ear towards right shoulder. A few breaths. Maybe that right ear is releasing a little further. And then again, just tuck your chin. And then if you wanted to release your left fingertips down towards the floor, you can play with that. Kind of just checking it out, seeing how it's feeling. Finally, if you wanted to take your right hand, bring it to the top of your head, and you can kind of just apply a little like downward weight and kind of like reaching the head forward a little bit too, assuming that that feels okay. Finally, if you wanted to lift that left arm a little bit, I always find that this gets into like some interesting places in the armpit area. Both shoulder blades continue to release down your back, gently squeeze in towards each other. If you've got that left hand lifted, go ahead and release it down. And then let's all just take our right hand to upright the head. Good work. Hands return to your thighs. Deep inhale here. And then exhale. Left ear towards left shoulder. You can tuck your chin. Maybe release your right fingertips towards the floor. And always try any of these variations. And if one feels like too much, again, you just go back to the spot you were before. And as we're holding, if it starts to feel too much, just make your way out. You want to bring your left hand to the top of your head. So you're kind of applying a little downward pressure and forward pressure. What's going on with your breath? And then if you wanted to start to lift that right arm up any amount, send your exhale to the spots where you're getting that. It's almost even like a nervy sensation for me. Okay, you can release your right fingertips down if you took that variation. Left hand to your cheek. Use the strength of your arm to upright your head. One final time here, dropping chin towards chest. And maybe it's finally feeling as though you've warmed up the back of the neck. You've lengthened those muscle fibers. So you're getting a little more release, a little more stretch and lengthening. Inhale, chin lifts. And then from here, let's move into some cat-cow. So as you inhale, you're gonna rock forward on your sit bones. Chest comes forward. As you exhale, you move in the opposite direction, rounding in. Inhaling, arching. Beautiful. As you exhale, you round and chin drops towards chest. And then you're just gonna continue like this. It might feel really nice to close your eyes here. Definitely find a pace with your breath that feels good. If you're feeling a little anxious today, you could stretch the breath out, kind of slow it down. If you're feeling a little lethargic, like you need a little mid-afternoon pick-me-up, maybe you move the breath a little faster. You're paying attention to your spine in each of these postures. We're doing flexion and extension. Where are there places that feel easy? Where are the places that feel a little more challenging? Good. As we continue here, if you'd like to get your arms into the mix, you're welcome to. So maybe as you inhale, you stretch your right arm forward. And then exhale, round back in. Inhale, left arm can reach forward. And so just coordinating that movement with your breath. If you wanted to do a few rounds here, both arms reaching forward at the same time. So the next time you're starting on your right, you could also add the left. And then if you're alternating arms, just make sure you are even. Let's come back to a nice tall seat. So nice Tadasana mountain pose. And then from here, let's just start to rock around in that pelvic girdle. These can be bigger circles, they can be smaller, a little mix and match. What do you need? Really nice. You can begin to switch directions. Good. And then Start to find your Tadasana, mountain pose. And just do a peek down at your feet again, kind of refresh your posture. So make any little adjustments that you need to so that you have that nice alignment. Let's release the arms down by our sides again. And then inhale, take the arms out wide. Again, firming muscle to bone, feeling those shoulder blades squeeze in towards each other. Deep inhale here. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist right. Keep both sit bones pressing evenly. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. And then we exhale, twist right. Take an inhale here, lengthen out a little further. Feel the sit bones pressing evenly. And then as you exhale, release your hands down. Left hand might come to the inside of your left thigh. It might be anywhere on your right thigh. Shoulder blades are releasing down. Your shoulder heads are pressing back. Your sternum is gently lifting. So there's a little sense of cobra pose in your upper body here. As you press evenly into your sit bones, you're feeling those left ribs wrap to the right. Trying to really fill up. It's hard when everything is constricted in a twist, but see if you can trace that expansion of your rib cage on the inhale, that contraction as you exhale. Let's stay in the twist here, so keep your left hand pressing wherever it is. Reach your right fingertips back, flip that palm up towards the ceiling, and then keep rooting into your sit bones, but stretch that right arm up and over. So we've got a little side stretch along with the twist here. You can be gazing up underneath that top arm if it feels okay in your neck. And then let's just start to untwist the torso. Release your left fingertips down. So you're just coming into more of a classic forward-facing side stretch. Left rib spinning up, maybe gazing up underneath that top arm. Is your right sit bone getting light? If so, anchor down there a little more. And then maybe reach that left arm off to the side. Can you lengthen the left side of your waist? So you're using those obliques a little bit. And then think core as you inhale, come up to center. Beautiful. As you exhale, release the arms down. Give the shoulders a little roll out here. All right, and then releasing those arms by your sides. As we inhale, we take the arms out and up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale to center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist left. Again, you're firming muscle to bone, so you're kind of activating the muscles in the arms. Feels counterintuitive, but it almost makes it a little bit easier. Exhaling. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Good, inhale back to center. And then this time we exhale to the left. Take an inhale here, see how long you can get that wingspan. And then as you exhale, hands release down. Right hand again, it might be on your right thigh, it might be on your left thigh. Does this side feel different in your body? Feel those sit bones pressing pretty evenly. So it's like the lower body is staying in the same place, but then we're twisting the torso to the left. So you're feeling those right ribs wrap to the left. Your breath is smooth and steady again, trying to really fill up on the inhale, find that expansiveness. Feel that contraction of everything as you exhale. And then just keep this, like this leverage with your right hand is helping you to stay in this twist, but reach your left fingertips back. So straighten that arm, palm facing up towards the ceiling, and then up and over, kind of at an angle. So we're finding this side stretch, but it still has this twist. I could feel my right shoulder creeping up towards my ear. If you're in that same boat, just go ahead and soften it down. Feel all of this length in the left side of your body. And can you hold on to all of that length even as you turn this into more of a classic side stretch, so you can release your right fingertips down to the mat. Anchor more into that left sit bone. You might be gazing up underneath the top arm if it feels okay in your neck. And then if you'd like to start to reach that right arm out, maybe take a little of the side bend out of that right side. So you're using a little more oblique work. It's like you're trying to kind of like become a parallelogram. And they say you never use geometry in day-to-day life. All right, so think core as you inhale up to center, beautiful. And then exhale, release the arms down. And again, it's probably gonna feel good to give them a little roll out here. All right, so let's come into some hip work and we'll add some twisting to that as well. So as you know, you can always just keep your legs in Tadasana through all of these things. If you would like, you could take your right ankle above your left knee if that is available to you. The other option would be to just find a little external rotation. So opening up that right leg, any amount, it doesn't have to be a lot. You just sort of go to that place where you're feeling some stretch. We're just going to hang out here in this initial position for a few breaths. So if you're doing this variation, these warrior two legs that I'm doing, do make sure that your right knee is over your right ankle. And then you can take your right hand and press that thigh back behind you. If you feel like you need a little more hips, they get nice and tight. This also stretches the inner leg. So you might not need to do that. If you're in this variation, crossing ankle over the knee, it can be very helpful to flex the foot. You could even use your hand here to help you find a little bit of that. Feels like you're releasing your right knee down towards the floor. And again, if you want a little more, you could use the strength of your arm to help press down a little bit. So not necessary, kind of depends on what's going on in your body. We're all built different. Day to day, our yoga practice feels different. And then we're just going to kind of simmer in this initial pose. So hips get really tight. This can be really intense. Can you keep that breath moving smooth and steady? Can you visualize your exhale going to the outer hip area, just kind of combing out tangles, creating some space, some ease. All right, so from here, wherever you're at, go ahead and release your arms down. Inhale, take the arms out wide. Exhale, we're going to twist to the right. Inhale, really stretch out. And then exhale, hands release down. So if you're in this seated pigeon that I'm doing right now, your left hand can be anywhere on your shin. If it's available in your body, for some of us, twisting is a little easier. Your left hand might come to the outside of your right thigh. If you're in this variation, kind of the same thing. Probably most of us will actually have our hand to the inside of that left thigh. Certainly, if you are comfortable taking it to the outside of your right thigh, you're more than welcome to do so. Breath is smooth and steady. Relax those shoulders down. And you might be moving towards bringing your gaze out over that right shoulder. And then let's just visit again exactly what we did with our first twist. So keep twisting to the right here, but you can reach your right fingertips out, palm facing up, and then take that left arm, or I'm sorry, that right arm up and over to the left. So this is almost like a little reverse warrior. Might be gazing up underneath that top arm. Sit bones pressing. And then the same thing, start to square your torso forward. You can release those left fingertips down. Some more just that classic side bending here. And then can you think a little less side bend and a little more extension, so getting into those glutes as you reach that left arm up if you want to take that variation. Imagine that you're squeezing a ball or a block between your hands. And then inhale up to center, really nice. As you exhale, release the arms down. And then from here, let's just take a little forward fold. So hands can be resting on your legs, wherever you're at. If you have blocks handy and you're close to the floor, you could take your hands on blocks, or if you have a desk in front of you or even a wall in front of you. And just notice how forward folding here intensifies the stretch that you're feeling. So I get it a lot more in my outer hip. And back out if you need to, do a little less. Good, and then slowly start to roll on up here. So coming back to that seat. Good work. And then we will take our second side, which might look different. So either draw that right leg in or uncross that left ankle. And then we come into our second side. So again, options here. Seated pigeon, maybe flexing this foot. You could even use your hand. If you feel like you need a little more, you can gently press down with your left hand. So it's like that thigh, that knee is releasing down towards the ground. You also just might be finding the external rotation here. And then perhaps using the strength of your hand to help press that knee back behind you. And then breath smooth and steady here. Really listen to that sound of your breath, maybe even count your breath. Get curious about how this side feels different in your body. And just simmering here in this hip stretch. All right, so wherever you're at, just release the hands. Inhale, take the arms out wide, shoulder blades squeeze in. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, really reach out. And then exhale, release the hands down. So finding that twist. Again, your right hand could be a lot of different places depending upon what variation you're doing. Think cobra pose in your upper body, that gentle lift of the sternum up towards the ceiling. Maybe moving towards bringing your gaze out over that left shoulder. So staying in the twist, right ribs wrapping to the left. Extend your left fingertips back behind you. Spin the palm to face up towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, take that top arm up and over. So again, it's kind of like a little reverse warrior pose. You might be gazing up underneath that top arm. Lengthening through those left fingertips. Right rib still spinning up towards the ceiling. Good, and then we're just going to start to square the torso to face forward. You can release your right fingertips down. More of this just classic side stretch. And you press more into that left sit bone. And then think oblique work here, so kind of take a little of that bend out of the right side. Reach through your right fingertips and imagine you're squeezing a ball or a block, so really activating the arms. You should feel the triceps engaging a little bit here, and then a little core to help you come up to center. Beautiful. As you exhale, release your hands down, and we find our forward fold here. So it doesn't need to be very deep. You can just use your hands on your legs or your shin. Hands might come to blocks or a table in front of you. Can you really let the back of your neck go? So it lengthens, your chin drops towards your chest. Listen to that sound of your breath. Let it be very calming and focusing. And then nice and easy, you can start to roll on up. Good. And just find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. So before we come into some breath work here, let's just do a few Ardha Surya Namaskars, like 3 or 4, just like as a little palate cleanser. We've done a lot of twisting and side stretching, hip stretching. Let's just flow a little bit. So you can release your arms down by your sides. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Maybe gaze up, maybe press palms. And then as you exhale, you can swan dive in. You can roll down. You can use those blocks here underneath your hands. Inhale, chest lengthens forward, gaze comes forward. Beautiful. As you exhale, fold back into your Uttanasana. And then inhale, you can use your hands to help you roll up. You can use a little core, a reverse swan dive out. And exhale, hands return to heart center. So you can follow along with me. You could return to cat-cow, but let's do 3 more of these at your pace. No rush. Let these feel really good. Enjoy what it feels like to connect your movement with breath. There's no rush when you're done with that third round. You'll just pause in your mountain pose Tadasana. Observing how you're feeling. And then we're going to just segue into a little box breath here, so you can go ahead and release your hands to your thighs if you haven't already. Take a smooth, deep inhale through both nostrils. Full, complete exhale through both nostrils. And then inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're going to continue on your own. So do about 3 or 4 more full cycles, unless you've had enough, in which case you can just sit quietly and breathe. Change the count if you need to. And when you feel complete with that box breath, you're going to go ahead and just make your way into some form of shavasana, so resting pose. You might be just staying exactly where you're at, but the feeling tone is going to be a little different. So you're going to invite in a sense of relaxation, of surrender. You're inviting your body and brain to assimilate the work that we've done together this past hour. You're giving yourself permission not to worry about anything these next few moments. You're going to soak up the stillness. Use this as a transition into the rest of the day ahead. Shavasana. Masato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityo ma mritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. let your next inhale be deeper. You can open your mouth, sigh the breath out, ha. And just start to bring some gentle movement back to your body, whatever that looks like, whatever feels good here. Start to bring your awareness back to your body. And you'll eventually land with your hands in a pile on top of your heart. And so sending yourself love and gratitude, your body love and gratitude for showing up, for making the effort, for working hard. We send each other love and gratitude for the community and the support and the friendship. And then we just promise ourselves that we're going to carry this good feeling with us into the rest of the day, week ahead. Finally, just bow your head with a smile. Beautiful work today. Thank you.